Five things off the wall.
That's us, man. 24/7.
You should expect the unexpected. I mean,
Make it known that this is all about being 100% authentic.
We are live now.
So, with that being said, let's jump right in.
Yo, welcome to Five Things Off the Wall. I am your boy, D. Wills.
peace, beautiful people. It's your boy Dev.
Hey y'all, it's C Mac.
What's happening? It's Walt, man.
Yo, so we want to thank y'all for joining us for this episode. So I'm going to be nursing a cup of tea over here today, but we're going to work through it. I'm going to let my cast and crew hold it down for most of the show. I'll be chiming in every now and then. Let's get it.
Let's
get it.
Oh my gosh, you sound terrible. Yo, this is the absolute
Let's get it.
worst.
Let's get it.
Derek, you don't sound that bad to me.
I literally remember.
Appreciate you.
All right,
Appreciate you, C-Mac.
Dad, before we jump into the Black History, bro, you remember when me and you was throwing this idea, five things off the wall. Let's do it, right? Let's do a podcast, right?
Yeah.
What did we say? Yo,
We said we needed Derek because he had a great voice.
he got the voice for this. He has it. So now, literally, this is like Superman not being able to fly, man. What is the purpose? Like, how, Sway?
But you said not today?
It just doesn't make sense. This is literally like Superman not being able to fly. This is Batman without the Batmobile. This is Thor without his hammer. I don't understand it.
Sorry.
Well, look, man. Yo, hold
I'm
on.
gonna let y'all hold it. Yeah.
In
go
all
ahead.
seriousness, though, big shout out to our brother D for even, travailing through the process of whatever it is he's going through. And we just speak nothing but healing in the man's life and a full recovery. And he's going to have his golden voice the next time we have our show. That's what we're going to speak right now.
Man with the voice.
Appreciate that. Listen, but before you know it, I'll be doing commercials for Velveeta.
No.
Really? The fake cheese? Come on, man.
Excuse you. Velveeta is not fake cheese.
Yes.
Dude, what you got, man? Black History. Let's talk
All
about
right,
it.
so I want to give a shout out to the queen that is Ray Montague. She is the first woman who was credited for creating computer-aided designs for submarines as well as ships. During the Vietnam times, when Richard Nixon tasked the Navy with creating a new battleship, it usually would take about 2 years to do. He tasked them with doing it in 2 months. Ray Montague used her skills, not only with her computer-generated skills and professional engineering skills, but also her photographic memory, to create a draft of a battleship in 18 hours and 26 minutes, thus revolutionizing the way ships and submarines are designed to this day. She is also an AKA, so shout out to them. If it wasn't for Ray Montague, the engineers that design ships and submarines now in the Navy probably wouldn't be doing it the way they're doing it. So in my eyes, she's a superhero. As well, and for one, I have an engineering degree also. So I totally look up to this woman and this queen for doing what she did. So
what would America?
Cheers to you.
Cheers. And so what would America be without Black people?
What would America be without Black people?
I don't know, man, but I just don't want you to talk.
No. We're going to Duke.
Not
Talk.
at all.
Talking there. You talking.
Keep talking, bro. Keep talking.
Keep talking. Watch. It's all gonna work out through the show. Watch. You watched it. You watch, Walk.
So moving. So
Dev, hold on. Is it Montague or is it Montague? Do you know?
Montague?
Yeah, I asked because my homie, my brother Mike, his last name is Montague. It's spelled the exact same way. Shouts out to my homie Mike Gonzarelli. What up?
No, well, I don't know.
I was just curious.
I would say that it's Montague, but it could be Montague. So for those who are listening, who know the last name, and if I'm saying it wrong and it is Montague, forgive me in advance.
Yeah.
There's a thing that you have, right? I feel like you are like the contrarian of the group, right?
I am
like I did one of these joints on your boy Willie O'Ree, and Art Dorrington, and you swore I said Jerome McGinley when I know for a fact I said Jerome McGinley. Like, why do you always want to try to like stir the pot and try to do things, try to do things a little different? I'm just curious.
With Jerome McGinley,
who says Montague?
With Jerome McGinley, I was being a douche, and that's just because I was being a jerk, and I wanted to.
But if you're gonna say it,
yeah.
Douche what?
But let's not act
let's give a shout out to Wolf for being the douche canoe pettiest man in America right now.
Thank you, Dev. Don't act like you don't know that that's what I do.
I wish we had a drop.
I wake up some morning
for the pettiest man in America. I wish we had a drop for that.
I'll put one in there. I wake up some mornings, and I feel like I'm just gonna bother Dev. I don't have a reason. I don't have a rhyme to it. I would bother Derek, but it's an hour earlier for him, so I just don't do it. Crystal is always up, so I don't feel like I get the same. It just wouldn't be quite as fun.
So you wake up thinking about Devin?
No, that's not what I said.
Oh.
That's not what I said. On my way to work, sometimes I'll hear something. Sometimes I got to ask Dev a question anyways. And sometimes when I call, it's just like, you know what? I'm just going to get on his nerves today. I don't have a reason for it. Like, just kind of how I bother you all the time, Crystal. It just is what it is. It's fun.
It's that logo on your hoodie.
Nope. This is
the sour life.
Nope. Actually, this is shouts out to my cousin Pete. This is shouts out to my cousin Pete.
Cousin Pete?
You really got a cousin named Pete?
You got my cousin Pete.
All right, so it's my cousin Lance. My cousin Lance. He does this Sour Life Saving Our Urban Reality is what it actually stands for. So it's all about, empowerment for people who are in the hood to realize that it doesn't have to be all gangs, guns, murders, and all of that. So he's doing something positive. I try to support the fam whenever I can. I call him Cousin Pete because our pops went to high school together. And back then, if your last name was the same, then you always was with the same people.
Cousins.
So we was clowning, we was joking one day. I'm like, yo, Lance, I wonder if we cousins. He's like, man, I don't know. You never know, man. Ain't that many Griffins in Pittsburgh. Whatever. I was like, yo, Cousin Pete. He's like, yo, Cousin Pete. So every time we seen each other, that was right when Poetic Justice had just come out. So we was joking. So, but shouts out to the homie B Lance, man. My man Lance Ito, he's doing some dope things with music, man. He's really trying to shape and shift the way things are going in Pittsburgh, man. And anybody doing anything dope in the city, man, I'm always happy about that, man. So shouts out to my homie B Lance.
No doubt. We might have to have him on the show.
Yeah, that would be dope. That would be dope, man. I'd love to have it.
Let's circle back real quick before we get into our topics. So why do you want to be the pettiest man in America all the time though?
I enjoy it. I really do.
Oh, all right.
I do. I enjoy it. There's no other reason. It's just fun.
Okay. The way Dev just said, all right. Okay.
That's just fun.
Yeah, but
the petty will not stop just because it ruffles people's feathers. It is fun.
Listen, I think what really would be petty though, since I am an hour behind, for you to call me in, that would really be petty, knowing that I'm asleep.
So first off, that would be rude because it's not just you, it's your wife, it's your kids. That's just disrespectful. I'm not gonna do that.
This dude has called me like at 7:30 in the morning before.
Ooh,
like that's not rude to me.
You want that, Derek? You want him to call you?
Like,
I'm just saying, like, you be mindful of other people.
No.
Sleeping,
first off, I call you then because I'm on the way to work, and normally I'm talking about something remotely important. And most of what I talk to you about, the petty comes after the fact. All right, the petty is after the fact. You're always up at that time. You're out running with Nemo. You might be on your way to the gym. You might be traveling to Booger Alabama somewhere. Who knows? You traveling somewhere doing something to do some engineering, climbing on buildings type stuff. I don't know.
You moving packs?
No, not yet.
That's you.
What?
Not yet.
That's that Georgetown.
I'm working towards it though. I'm trying to roll dolo from state to state.
I rolled dolo from state to state.
Hold on, quick. Hey, C-Mac, what you drinking?
Miller Genuine Draft?
I am not. I would never drink anything that represents Pennsylvania.
First off, Miller Genuine Draft is not Pennsylvania. Thank you very much.
Damn near.
Nope. There you go.
I am drinking a Jack Daniel.
We know who failed geography.
Southern Peach.
That's in Black History Month. You mean to tell me you going to drink something from the man who stole the recipe from Uncle Nearest?
Uncle Nearest, yes.
That's so anti-Black right now. I'm so disappointed in you.
Crystal
Said
said it.
Listen, I know this is not. This is not on something that we were supposed to talk about, but I just saw this and I thought it was like,
oh wow. Yeah, I love those. Come on, let's get it. Yeah, boy, so, fresh.
Apparently, there's a restaurant in New Orleans called Quarter View.
Okay.
And this lady was getting out of the car with her family or friends, whatever.
Okay.
And as they were getting out the car, the owner saw them and said, "Here comes the zoo." Oh, and they said it to someone in the restaurant. Well, the problem was the person that they said it to in the restaurant was someone that was in there waiting for the said zoo that was getting out the car. So now they have put these people on cancel
culture
because of the fact that you just said, "Here comes the zoo," and then because it was a party of 30, they got turned away.
Okay, so a couple of assumptions, right? so the person who said, "Here comes the zoo," they got to be white, right? Are they white?
It doesn't say.
Because here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. You got 30 people coming in, like, were they loud and rowdy?
They were just getting out the car.
Peacefully, but it was 30 of them.
Yep, and it was amongst the bunch of all of the party. Collectively together. Ended up being 30 people, and let me correct that. They didn't turn 30 people away. When the 30 people got in there and heard the story, they said, "You will not get a penny from us," and I believe they left. So, yeah. So he turned to someone saying, "This was like, here comes the zoo," and the person that he said it to was a part of the party that was joining.
They're part of the zoo. They're part of the zoo.
Yeah.
So what you're saying
I need more though. I need more.
Why?
Dev, you still going to patronize the restaurant?
I don't even know what a restaurant is in New Orleans.
It's in New Orleans. It's in Louisiana. It's in Metairie.
Yeah.
You ever heard of that?
All right.
Yeah.
Metairie. Will you patronize this restaurant?
I'm not justifying the person, but what I will say is this: if you got 30 people coming in, and I don't know what they were looking like, but the zoo doesn't necessarily have to be a racial connotation. It could be because people are rowdy.
Right.
But is it okay to say, "Here comes the zoo"?
No, especially to somebody who you don't know.
Look at Walter.
Right. Especially somebody who you don't know.
But I tell you what, I tell you what, I'm looking at this food online. It looked pretty good.
Look at him. He made me so sick. Derek,
what's the name of the place? Quarters?
It's called Quarter View Restaurant.
Well, Crystal, let me ask, what's your take on it? Should the person who said what he said be canceled?
Yes.
Yeah.
And why?
Why are you saying "Here comes the zoo"?
Because it could have been a lot of people like, "Oh God, here we go." So there's a big crowd. They could be a little rowdy.
Right.
But we don't know how many people were getting out the car.
But see, it
doesn't
might have been
say
based
that.
off.
It may have been 5 people getting out the car. 25 people may have already been in there.
See, but that's stuff we don't know.
Like, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter.
So what you're saying, Crystal, is as a professional, you shouldn't be talking about your clients like that.
Exactly. Just like the school board.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Are we talking about the school board?
We're not. Everybody resigned because they know they was on there talking about these parents.
Well, so I don't know about the school board. Enlighten me.
All right. So there was a school board in California, and they were on a
They were a
They were
board
on a
meeting.
they were on a board
Devin,
meeting, right?
You know what, Devin? We're gonna cancel Devin
Thank you.
because these are things that
We talk about.
I'm
This
so
is why
sick
we
of
have.
him. I'm so sick of him.
Now you see why my petty comes out first.
Anyway, I get Walt.
So
This is
the school
ridiculous.
board in California, they were having a board meeting, and
then
it was
he's
being
laughing.
publicly streamed, right?
Right,
Being
yeah.
publicly streamed. Well, said school board didn't realize it was being publicly streamed, and they was bad mouthing the parents.
So, but at that,
the parents are upset because.
But
What did they say? What did they say?
But
Give us an example of what they said.
Give me an example. Give me an example.
But at that time, they didn't know it wasn't supposed to be.
It wasn't supposed to be public.
Stream. It wasn't supposed
It
to
wasn't.
be.
It wasn't supposed.
One of them asked that.
Give me
one
an
of them
not
said,
yet. It hadn't got there yet. So they
give
said,
me an example. Give me an example.
One of the things that was said was they're mad that they don't have their babysitters right now. They're mad. All they really want is for these kids to go back to school so they could do drugs. All this tough talk. It's all tough when they're behind a computer screen, but when you see them face to face, it's a different story. Those last two statements, right? And before one of those statements, one of the board members did ask, like Derek said, one of the board members asked and said, "Are we by ourselves?" And somebody said yes, right? When they realized that they wasn't alone, somebody said, "Uh-oh, come on, man." Y'all first off, y'all some dummies. Y'all dummies.
They knew.
Here's the thing, right? As an educator, Derek, I know you could testify to this. Oftentimes, I feel like I am a babysitter, right? Not because
I have questions for my educators.
Not because the kids. Not because the kids are kids.
I said find the lie.
Right, but here's the thing: I don't feel like I'm a babysitter because the kids are kids. It's not what the kids do. It's just the lack of appreciation that the entire public shows educators in the profession. That's not an uncommon gripe that most teachers have, right? And I honestly feel like if they would have just left it at that, you can always talk that off. Like Crystal said, where's the lie? Most people are like, yeah, that's how y'all feel anyways. I've heard parents make statements to that effect, basically saying like, yo, you need to come get your kids because I can't afford to keep feeding them. When y'all sending the school bus?
Let me ask you a question. So are the teachers, because they resign, did the teachers resign?
These are board
teachers. Every last one of them resigned.
They all had to resign.
They had to resign, right?
Right now the entire thing says vacant. All of them say they're vacant.
All right, cool. So they were so we're canceling them clearly because of what they said. They got caught for saying what they said, but
I don't know that it's a cancel thing as much as it is. It's like the people in that community demanded that they resign, that they step down. That's not a cancel thing. That's like you're here to serve this community, and if you're clearly being combative and negative and demeaning to the members of the community you're here to serve, you don't need to serve in that capacity.
Let me ask my educators.
Yeah.
All three of y'all. Right. Because Crystal's an educator too.
But she deal with adults, so she don't deal with.
But the thing is, y'all like. See, I can't even ask it because I don't even want y'all to incriminate yourself. But I feel like.
Crystal, quit looking at it like that.
We keep it 100. We keep it a buck.
Y'all don't be having these type of conversations about.
Let me tell you something, Walt.
Y'all don't be having.
You want thin ice, Walt?
Listen.
Watch me skate all over the ice. Watch me skate all over the ice.
Crystal, you're muted. Anyway, listen.
I know.
Let me ask y'all a question.
I'll say what I say when I say it.
And I want y'all to keep it a buck, right?
Yeah.
Y'all don't have these type of talks with y'all peers about some of these parents and these kids or some of these students you have?
Nah. I haven't. I've heard parents say, like, if you call a parent and say, hey, we need you to come pick up your kid for whatever reason. I've heard parents say, that's not my problem.
Yep.
That's your job, right? You know, they're supposed to be with you.
So y'all never went off about none of these kids,
none of
these parents about how they conduct themselves. That's
not in that manner.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Not in that manner. The best educators, and I'm not putting myself in that category, but I'm just saying the best educators don't take to private circles to badmouth the people that they're there to serve, because they know they're there to serve. I'm here for the kids. So
you never had a situation you was like, yo, Dev, I'm one of your teacher peers. Right. Yo, Dev, let me tell you what this teacher did today. I mean, let me tell you what this parent did today. And you never had one of those, you never had one of them joints and just went off real quick kind of event. You never had that?
Not I'm bad mouthing the parent. Like it might be like, yo, let me tell you what this parent did. So at a former school, this was one of my students, but I never had any interactions with the parent, right? Never had any interactions with this parent. So this is a story that somebody else said around me. Okay. Like, and these are the type of stories that I might be a part of. Like, and this goes to what Derek was saying. Teachers might sit and say, so I called such and such's mom about their poor performance, their inability to learn, their inability to read or grasp the concepts or whatever it is. I called mom, and mom says, like Derek says, so what? That's y'all problem. I told y'all about that anyways. I'm going to quote the parent now as it was told to me. Again, I did not hear this lady say it, so I don't know. Right. But and this was in a completely different district. If anybody in my district is listening, this did not happen where we at now. The teacher said, she calls mom and says, hey, I got to talk to you about, your son. He's having a difficult time. Now, this is a reading comprehension type class to help the kid boost his reading, because he's already learning at a lower level. Okay. I'm calling about such and such, he's really having a hard time getting the concepts, and I'm concerned and I want to help. How can I help? She said, you know what? That's y'all problem. She said, because I don't think he's going to pass. She says, you know what? That's y'all problem. I told y'all not to pass his dumb ass in the first place. Y'all deal with it. Verbatim. That's what she told the teacher. Yeah. Boom. Hangs up the phone. She's done. Now, I don't look at that like that's bad mouthing the parent. That's a true story. That's just what you just said. Now, if I was to say, this is exactly why these little black kids or these little white kids or these little Hispanic kids, these little Asian kids,
or just kids,
or these kids, but I'm going to put a race to it just for the sake of trying to prove a point. Yeah. That's why these little kids ain't learning nothing no ways, because their parents is all stupid and they don't give a crap about their education. Now, if I was to say that, that's bad mouthing the parents. That's bad mouthing the parents.
Listen, man, if you say that, I believe you.
Yeah. And I'm going to say in my case, it's simply because I understand a lot of these situations.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of them work. The parents, our demographics in the school that I was at, a lot of the parents work 2 jobs, you know what I'm saying? And it was tough. So, so for us to call them, because they had their hands full oftentimes with the kid. So for them to have to jeopardize their job to come to pick up the kid was an issue. So I was like, I get it. We'll just have to figure it out.
Okay.
I mean, let me be clear. This is not to say that teachers don't say that. Yeah, I know teachers say it all the time. Clearly, we saw it. But these people, I don't know if that school board is made up of former teachers. I don't know. Like, I know some school boards don't necessarily you don't have to have been a teacher to be on a school board. So these could just be regular people. I don't know. I know Cali is different. They do stuff differently out there. So,
like Dangerous Minds?
Not like that.
Freedom Riders?
Not movie stuff. I'm talking about. So, like, in Cali, they got you.
They go to extra mile.
Y'all got teachers unions?
Yeah, we do.
So we don't have teacher unions out here, but the teacher union out there, like, basically, I met with some teachers from California at a Marine educator workshop I went to, and one of the things he was saying, he was like, basically, you don't get fired. It's almost impossible because of the unions. So you got really, really, really bad teachers in the classroom.
Oh, wow.
And because they're part of the union, they pretty much can't be walked out. Like, it's almost impossible. Yeah. So
yeah, our issue in some cases wasn't the union, it was tenure.
Right. I mean, you hit a mark. It's like, I mean, even out here in South Carolina, they say really the only ways you get fired as a teacher is if you mess with the money, you mess with the kids, or you messing with drugs in front of the kids. if you do any of that, and I had to put that stipulation on it in front of the kids, because I know plenty of teachers that is
Oh God.
getting way too high.
And nowadays, I get you could also add to that list if you start your own OnlyFans.
That's what I'm saying. It's messing with the kids.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, Crystal, so let's tie it back to what happened in Metairie, I hope I'm saying it right, Metairie, Louisiana, at the spot. So you was equating it to the cancel culture for the owner, manager, whoever said that to this.
Because people say crazy stuff.
Say it again, Walt?
I said because people say crazy stuff.
People do say crazy stuff.
That wasn't meant. He was not meaning for them to hear that, right? And so because you done said it to the person that's waiting for this party to get out of the car and join them, now you know.
So look, I get exactly where you're coming from, especially because today I was in a town called Hogansville, Georgia.
Okay.
Hogansville, Georgia. It's south, past Noonan, and you know that we know that at least in Noonan we know that the Klan is real heavy down there. They've actually had Klan rallies out in the streets in Noonan. So there's no it wouldn't be surprising if there was some type of activity along those lines in that town. The looks that I was getting today in that town by white people was a little interesting, and in full disclosure, it made me a little nervous to do what I needed to do down there. Right?
That's because I ain't never seen a black man on a horse.
I wasn't on a horse, but anyway. So,
really?
But, so I know exactly where your irony comes from when this person says what he says.
She Jamaican?
Anyway, so, but the thing about it is, though, when you say the zoo is coming, in some context, it's not necessarily about race. It's about the crowd that's about to be coming into the place or the establishment. That's all I'm saying. So I just would like to know more about the situation before I fly off the handle. Is all I'm saying.
Right. Yeah. I can't say I would cancel them. Now, if it was a shot at the individuals for race, then I'm in. I'm joining the cancel culture for the organization. But looking at those pictures, man,
oh my God.
That fool look good. Listen, I don't even eat seafood no more. But brother.
So here's my thought on that. Whether it was intended to be racial or not, it's the fact that you have a lot. If let's just say this was a white manager and this was a mostly or predominantly or completely Black or minority crowd, right?
Yes.
Because of the stigma that goes with only Black people act this way, only Black people do this, only people of color act this certain way. Because of that stigma, when you say things like that, that's disrespectful to say to a customer, period.
Absolutely. Right? You are absolutely right. Let me just ask you this question real quick.
Yeah.
Would it be different though if the person who said it was Black?
It would be even more infuriating. It probably wouldn't make the news, whatever news source Crystal got that from, it probably wouldn't make that cycle, but it would be even more infuriating because it's like, yo, we especially at this juncture in time, we need to be as supportive of us as we can possibly be without putting any sort of, without contributing to the negative stereotypes unprecedented. Like if they came now, hold on, hear me out. If they come in 30 deep, right? If they come in 30 deep, loud, cussing, acting a fool, making everyone uncomfortable, right?
Right.
And somebody says, "Oh God, here comes the zoo." I fully get it.
Or here comes the riffraff.
Fully get it, fully understand it, because you're conducting yourself in that manner. But if you come into the restaurant, you're just getting out the car and you're having jovial conversations with your friends.
You're dead wrong.
And somebody says,
and they deserve whatever they get.
And somebody says, "Here comes the zoo."
Yeah, that person is dead wrong.
I have to take that as a racist comment because you saw a large party of people of color, whether you're black, white, brown, or indifferent, it doesn't matter. I'm taking that as either because if you're black and you said it, it's self-hate. If you're white and you said it, that's racist.
No, I get it, and that's the thing. I'm not diminishing any of that. But what I'm saying is, there's a lot of times when people are quick to cancel somebody without having the full context and full story about something.
And this is something
we've seen this
right
a lot of times.
And that's what I'm saying.
That's why I'm saying, I would like to have more to be like, all right, yeah, I do feel comfortable with going on the side of, yeah, this person needs to get canceled or this person needs to get dealt with in whatever manner because of everything that I know. But I can't honestly give that assessment because I don't know the entire story. I haven't even read it. This is breaking news.
I have breaking news. So without knowing, without even knowing the entire story, it's still okay to say that.
I mean, it's not okay to say it.
No, it's not okay, Crystal.
That don't mean I'm gonna cancel you though.
But it's not okay to say it, Crystal. But and correct me if I'm wrong. But the assumption that I'm getting and the anger that the energy that you're giving off is because it's racist. The narrative is framed like it's a racial thing. Right. So yes. All right, and I'm like, all right, cool. I get that, but I know that term and the way it's used is not always necessarily racial, is what I'm saying. Okay. And I would prefer to know more about the story.
But what if it has nothing to do? What if it has nothing to do with the term being racial? What if it has everything to do with the fact that a white man said that about black people, not the fact that they're trying to reference them being?
But that's the thing. But that's what I was asking. That's why I was like, yo, is this do we know that this? I think it was safe to assume this person is white, but do we really know? That's why I asked to begin with.
So here's the thing, right? So even in that case, right? Do you cancel the whole restaurant, or does that person need to be canceled? Because that may not be a reflection of the owner of the restaurant. That could just be the opinion and thoughts of that person.
Right.
But how many of these situations have we had where it had nothing to do with the owner and had everything to do with the person that worked there?
Yeah, Crystal, but we got to be careful with that, right? We can't lump that all. Each thing should be each thing, in my opinion.
But the thing is, you're spinning it in a different way that I'm not even talking about.
But here's my thought.
I don't care that they said, yes, it's a problem that they said zoo, but I'm not thinking zoo because they call black people animals or whatever, monkeys. Yes. I'm not thinking it like that. I'm just thinking, why are you saying that about people coming to your restaurant? One, but if it is a white person saying it about black people, why are you saying that?
So here's my thoughts on that, Crystal, to go off of what you just said. If it's just about piss poor customer service, that's not cancel culture worthy. That's just don't support
you a lie.
No, I mean, if that's how you feel, cool, I get it. But it's like I'm not putting a whole cancel culture out there because of somebody,
especially to not to the whole establishment,
right? Because a cancel culture deal is like, we got to cancel you because your behavior is insensitive to the larger group of Black America. In this context is how we.
So is that
Spider?
Hold on, is that the technical reason for cancel culture?
Yes. Well, it's
so
not.
If I look up cancel culture, is that going to give me the definition?
No, it's not. I don't know what the damn.
I mean, look it up. Pull the receipts.
Cancel culture tends to
look it up. Let's go.
Look, cancel culture tends to revolve around anytime somebody says something offensive to a marginalized population, whether it be somebody says something racist, somebody says something sexist, whether somebody says something that is homophobic. Now, it has to be when you say something that is
something insensitive
to a marginalized population. Saying here comes the zoo to a racially ambiguous or multicultural group of people with white, Black, Hispanic, Asian, it's just a large group of people saying here comes the zoo, that wouldn't fall under cancel culture. That falls under give them a bad Yelp review, right? If it's a bunch of Asian people that's coming in there and somebody says, oh Lord, hide the cats. You know what I'm saying? That's out and out racist. I'm dead serious. I'm serious. That's out. Bottom line, that's out. Serious. Listen, that's out and out racist. That's out and out racist. That's not funny. I'm serious. That's out and out racist, and that's cancel.
That's the part.
Right. That's out and out
part.
racist, and that's cancel culture worthy. If they would have said, "Oh Lord, here come
y'all
these,"
don't cancel us because of what he said.
I didn't say I'm just putting it out there. I said, what if somebody would have said, "All right, here come these monkeys in the zoo, out and out racist."
Well, here's the thing, right? Here's the other thing, like Crystal, like if there was a report that came out that said somebody from Gas South said something that was racially derogatory towards, Black people, Asian people, Native American people, whatever, right? I'm not going to feel the need to cancel the entire Gas South, but that person who actually said what they said should be the one that should be dealt with and removed from the establishment, because the establishment is going to say, we do not agree with the views of what this person was saying. But that should be the same thing for the restaurant.
But if Cutting Corners doesn't come out and say, is that the name of the place?
He said
Cutting Corners. That's the name of
the Quarter View.
Quarter View, bro.
View.
I don't listen. First of all, I don't want no restaurant to be named Cutting Corners.
If Quarter View,
let's just be clear about that.
Come out. Listen, hold on. If Quarter View doesn't come out and say we denounce, we don't endorse anything that this manager said, and he no longer works with us.
That's a problem.
If Quarter Slot don't say that, then
no, we are not going to keep changing
If they don't come out, Quarter View, if they don't come out with a statement, right? Then you can only assume that the owners agree.
You can't, because you don't have anything else to go off of.
So, but that's right. But see, that's what I'm saying. That's how cancel culture works. You don't cancel Quarter View because of this incident. You cancel Quarter View because of the incident and the company's irresponsible response to it, or non-response. Their inaction.
But what you're saying it from a rational thinking perspective, when the majority of people out there, as soon as you put this out there, like if it's on a platform like the Shade Room or one of them joints, everybody is canceling it before they actually dive deeper into what actually happened. You know that, I know that everybody on this platform.
Hold on. Perfect example. Texas Roadhouse that T.I. went to in Atlanta. What was it called?
Houston's.
Whatever.
Oh,
that place.
No, there's a huge difference. Okay.
Yeah. Well, no.
Yes.
Man, just listen. So
there might be a restaurant called Cutting Corners, and you keep saying this name.
Like you really. Okay. Wait.
Listen.
Go ahead.
Before Texas
hold on, stop.
Houston's?
I was being silly. I just didn't know the name of it. I knew it was something Texas. That's all I knew. Anyways, Houston, Texas.
All right, go ahead, man.
Oh my God.
Come on. Anyways, Houston's, right? Before Houston's got the official cancel, and I'd heard that there had been a ton of racist situations in that establishment. Mm-hmm. Before they got the official cancel culture green light, T.I. and a few other people went out there to address it with that management, right?
Yes.
Before and the management's non-response or unacceptable response is what led to, we got to cancel accusers because they basically don't give a crap that they people is acting this way. You see what I'm saying? So cancel culture never really happens. Like I can't think of one situation where somebody got the cancel culture and they were trying to defend themselves, or without being given an opportunity not to clear their name, but given an opportunity to explain. And usually it's the bad explanation, or the non-explanation, or the indifference that leads to cancel culture. It's like, yo, what, man? We canceled Adam Silver because basically when he was being a racist douche on the bench, he didn't care.
Hold on. Adam Silver?
Not Adam Silver. My bad.
I'm about to say, Adam Silver was one of the best commissioners ever.
Hold on. That was a legit error on my part. What was the dude's name from the Clippers?
Donald Sterling.
Donald
bro.
Sterling. See?
Oh my God.
I was close. I was close.
Whoa.
Listen, I need you to really have the proper
Oh my
names and stuff.
God. Do you need some ginkgo biloba or something?
You were shooting bad the last three things, man.
First off, hold on.
You need some ginkgo biloba.
Let me be clear about something. I don't give two
flying
Falfic Newtons about any of these people. None of them. Not a one.
Listen, man.
All right. You know what names I ain't gonna get wrong? Home Team Original. I won't get that. Hold on. I won't get that. Whoa, no. Let me get my moment. I won't get Home Team Original wrong. Real Talks. I put an S on the end because there is an S on the end. Real Talks with DP and Dev. Won't get
But there's no S on the end of it.
Here it is.
No, there's not.
Whatever.
All right, man. I get it. I get your point.
I won't get Derek, what kind of business you got? What's Shayla's business?
It's called Perfectly Inked.
Never get that wrong.
What is it called?
Perfectly Inked.
Well, you didn't even know the name of it.
But I wouldn't guess it.
Oh. All right.
I'll ask and find out. So the point I'm trying to illustrate is the people and the things, Sour Life, not gonna get that one wrong. Not gonna happen. I don't care about them big corporations and their foolishness, man. Houston's, Dallas's, Texas Roadhouse, Long John Horn Silver. I don't care. Adam Silver, Tony Sterling, Tony Stark. Who cares? Unless it's Ghostface Killer.
Please don't cancel Tony Starks.
He's already dead. He dead.
What? When?
So
what happened?
So moving right along. Let's not dig a deeper hole for ourselves.
Nobody ain't no hole. Nobody care about the people.
So we're gonna move forward, and thank you for the breaking news, Kristen.
Cancel Corner Pocket.
Can I give the definition of cancel culture?
Yes, you can. Please do.
Cancel culture is a modern form of ostracism in which someone is thrust out of social or professional circles, whether it be online, on social media, or in person.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, they don't say why?
That's all it says.
I don't think it really matters. Do you? I mean,
ain't online will be the same as social media?
Say it again.
What?
Ain't social media the same as online?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't argue that.
That's Urban Dictionary, ain't it?
No, it's not actually.
Why did it have to be Urban Dictionary?
Because they give them you get like 17 different definitions for one word.
But online and social media could be different things, right?
Sway. That's what I want to know.
Like online, online news and then social media.
Some people
ostracize somebody from online news.
I mean, when you say you're online, some people may think immediately like the internet.
Yeah, a lot of people refer to online as internet.
When you're on social media, that's not necessarily considered
the internet.
You
use the internet to be on social media, but when you talk about
internet for other things,
let's move on.
See, he just canceled us.
Yeah, that was rude.
Cancel culture in full effect.
That was really rude. That was really rude for no reason.
Nope, because I was gonna say something. I was gonna say something insensitive, and I decided it's better not to be said now.
All right, so speaking of somebody being canceled, or should they be canceled? Let's talk about a touchy subject that we don't really want to ruffle no feathers, but I think it's a discussion that we should have pertaining to transgender competing. So, Crystal, you brought up an article earlier this week, and you had some very interesting views on it.
Let's be clear: transgender competition in sports.
Yeah, transgender competition in sports. Now, there's a lot of different reports out there. Crystal's going to talk about one. I know of some because I've been following an athlete who's not transgender, but she's intersex. And she is a world class.
What is that?
Intersex is when for those who's listening, if I get it incorrectly, please drop a comment. We don't mind correction, but intersex is someone who actually has both male and female.
Born that way?
They're born that way.
So hermaphrodite is like a hermaphrodite?
Like a hermaphrodite.
Yeah, but see, we got to be careful with that term because that term is actually derogatory in those circles.
I did not know that. Shut up, Walt. Walt is such a jerk. And he sat there and started laughing because he knew it was coming from somebody.
Because he knew. Because this is the pettiness of America coming out.
I know.
But so for those who are listening, that term is actually, got to be a little careful with that term. But being intersex, right? So
I didn't know that gay people like being called queer. I thought that would be offensive. Yeah. But they're okay with queer.
There is a lot of things in that space that none of us is really a lot educated on. But there's a lot of rules and a lot of things that you got to be mindful of, right? But let me finish telling the story. So there is an athlete, Caster Semenya. She is from South Africa.
Hold on, I got a little bit of information about the queer thing, and a lot of this came from Malik Yoba when he made his announcement
about him being with.
He wasn't cis. He wasn't a cis sexual,
cisgender,
cissexual, whatever it is. The discussion that was had on I think it was the Breakfast Club, was that the queer moniker is not necessarily for gay people. Queer is more of a lifestyle. A lot of it is a lifestyle, but the queer moniker is about your lifestyle choices. So somebody could be queer and it's not because they are a man who likes men or a woman who likes women. It's more so about their lifestyle beyond their preference and who they choose to be in relation with. It's not about that. That's a little bit different. So the Q in that, and that's why it's been separated like LGBTQ.
Okay.
The queer is a whole other category of something else. So just because somebody's queer doesn't necessarily mean that they're gay, or they don't have a binary existence. That's the right word to use there. They don't have a binary existence, right? So all of these non-binary people have, like you said, like you said, that there's different rules.
Be careful.
There's different rules for the non-binary people, and because we don't know it, like I don't want to be the one to be like, yo. And I laughed about the hermaphrodite thing because I don't know what it is about that word, but it's just so funny to me. It's the word. It's hilarious. I don't know. Didn't I just say be careful? No, the word.
Says it anyway.
The word is funny.
When did it take a negative connotation?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Now I remember being a kid and I would call people that. And that was because the joke of it was you don't even know if you're like you a boy and a girl all at once. Well, you know what I'm saying? So it was like that was a joke. As a kid, I can remember being a young child saying that.
From the stuff that I've read, that particular term in itself is not necessarily considered the most accurate term when it comes to a person who may have, heightened levels of testosterone, but also have, female, genitalia or female reproductive system. You know what I'm saying?
So what is that?
The proper term is intersex.
So that's what I'm saying. So is it because they have both male and female
reproductive organs,
or is it because they have hormones that are
they both have actual male and female genitalia,
right?
One may be more pronounced than others, but that does not mean that they doesn't have it. Like, for example, a person who was considered themselves a female may still have male testes.
So when we were at state in my sex class,
Wait, you had a sex class?
Like we had a class at State where they talked it was all about sex. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Sex ed?
Nah, it wasn't sex ed. It was deeper than sex ed. So we actually had like the professor actually invited some people who we would say, intersex, now, but back then they were introduced as the H
don't
word.
Say that. Okay.
Well, no, time out. Stop. He's not saying it in a derogatory way.
Yeah.
That's like saying back in the 70s we were Negroes. That don't mean I'm not gonna say like, yeah, in the 70s they used to call us Negroes. Don't say it. No.
We've already identified that we don't need to say it, so just don't.
Okay. All right.
What is the point of saying it?
So during that time, they used the term, and this was 2002, 2003, and they referred to themselves by the term. And so that's why I ask, when did the negative connotation come into play with that? But, things change overnight.
Yes. So back to this lady who's a transgender.
Yeah, go ahead.
Several.
Yeah.
So
in this particular case, we're talking about the woman who was a weightlifter, right? World-class weightlifter.
Her name is Laurel Hubbard, and she broke every female record at the World Championship for weightlifting. And she was born as a man, and at the age of 30 went through the operation to become a female.
Right.
And so now competes as a female. So I guess for me, and maybe y'all can give me more education about this, but when someone goes through a sex change, so of course, because this man wants to be a female, they are doing something to have more estrogen. They take hormones to have more estrogen added.
In some cases.
Yeah, I was gonna say in some cases, because sometimes it's so this particular woman is going through the hormone replacement. That's the separate part. It's like you got to have the hormone replacement as well as the surgery. I think it's usually the hormone replacement comes before the surgery. I know.
But she had the surgery already.
Right, but that's
so she did have the surgery.
Yeah, at the age of 30.
All right, but that's what I'm saying. So if I'm not mistaken, all right. Now again, this is like Dev said. If you know better, you do better. So if somebody knows better, I'm sure there are a million people who know better. I always thought it was the hormone replacement that, especially if you knew you were going to have the surgery, if you knew the lifestyle switch was all going to happen, the hormone replacement will happen, and then the surgery, especially going from male to female, just because of the body change. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to look like a woman if you don't look like a woman, I guess.
Yeah.
So is the question, is it fair, or should this person be allowed to compete in the sport in which they identify themselves as?
That is exactly the question.
So that's the question.
All right. So before I answer that, do we know when, she started breaking these records? Was it after she had the surgery?
Yeah, because she broke all the women's records.
Yeah.
All right. So she had the surgery, so she was identified as a woman, right?
But
legally she was. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just trying to get an understanding before I ask my question. So she was identified as a woman. She had the surgery. She identified as a woman. The governing bodies that allowed her to compete let her compete as a woman,
not realizing that she was a man. Not realizing that she was born male. Let me rephrase that, because that was the issue that they had, and that's in that article as well. When they stripped her of her records, they said, we don't go by what you identify as. We go by as what you were born.
Oh,
right?
Okay. All right.
And in competitive weightlifting, especially, I cannot argue with that governing body's ruling. Right. Yeah. It's not necessarily about being insensitive to somebody's gender preference or gender gender identification.
Preference,
or identify. I'll say identification. It's not about being insensitive to how somebody chooses to identify. because you don't agree with it. It's about the physical and genetic makeup of males and females changes after a certain point. So
it's the hormones, basically. It's the
right,
estrogen and the testosterone.
right. And then your strength levels change. So
Right.
once you hit a certain point, like let's just say that point was, let's just say hypothetically the point is 21, 25.
Yeah.
I know it's somewhere in the teens, so I think it's like at what they say, like around 12, 13.
I don't know.
It's at some point a female, the strength patterns change, right? The strength patterns change, and males become naturally stronger than girls. It's not 100% exclusive, but that is what it is. So she did not have the surgery until 30. She didn't go through any sort of hormone.
Oh, wait, we're talking about two different people. I just want you to know that. Okay.
We are?
Yes. Because the lady I'm talking about didn't get stripped of anything. She still, she won this in December and she still holds it. She's looking forward to competing in the Olympics. But the lady that Walt is talking about, her name is Mary Greger.
Okay.
And she was the one that they didn't know that she was that she had a sex change.
Okay.
All right. So
She was the one that got stripped.
So Crystal, and the one that you're talking about, they knew that she had the change and allowed her to still compete.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. All right. So what's the issue?
So the issue, well, how it became an issue right now is because apparently there was some, comments about the fact that this person is unfairly being able to compete, knowing that they have the strength of both. So my question to y'all was, when someone does that, and I'm not saying that you guys know firsthand, but maybe you've read about it, but does a person that has male strength really lose their strength by taking hormones, or is it just for them to help grow breasts and stuff like that? Like, do they still have the strength of a man?
In terms of what the side effects of it are, I don't know. But what I do know about muscle, you don't lose that just because your hormones change overnight. Right. It doesn't happen overnight. Now, she started hormone replacement at 15 and didn't compete until she was 35. I think I might be comfortable in saying, all right, cool. She's been, unless, again, like I said, unless if there's science out there that says your muscle development is directly tied to your hormone production, right? Okay. If this person is able to produce excess amounts of testosterone because they were once a man, and the estrogen is just there to help with body definition or body development, right? Okay. And it does nothing to lower the levels of testosterone, which I know that's conflicting. So I know that's not the case. If somebody was to say that, then yes, unfair. But if the estrogen itself, which is what it does, like, so excess estrogen in the body, it changes a male's mood, right? Okay. You think about things differently. Your responses to things are different.
You could be more aggressive.
Excess.
You mean more feminine?
You become more feminine. It's not necessarily, you become more aggressive.
Oh, I thought you said
what the excess testosterone that converts to estrogen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I thought you was talking about testosterone. My bad.
Yeah. So like when guys take steroids and stuff like that, they become aggressive. They go through that roid rage because their body has an excess amount of testosterone. Right. If this person is doing something to not necessarily increase their testosterone, but leave it where it is, and I don't know how the hormone therapy works. If they're leaving their testosterone where it is and all they're doing is increasing their estrogen, I would want to know, is their testosterone level high enough that they're able to produce muscle at levels that a woman who was born a female, never went through this process, are they at an unfair advantage? That's the science I would need.
See, if that happened, then there would be a lot of people, taking more testosterone just to get more strength. But
that's
right now,
that's the thing. That's banned in most sports. Yeah. Like excess, any supplement that helps you produce human growth hormone, testosterone, or a ton of other, that's all banned in sports. So if this person, and I guess this is the way I'm thinking about it, this competitor is basically equivalent to somebody who's using performance enhancing drugs. In my mind, I don't know, because you have a higher level of testosterone by birth than somebody else that you're competing against.
Right.
So, and it's not like a little bit higher, it's a lot higher. Like it's leaps and bounds higher. That's my thought on it. But again, I don't know. Maybe if the hormone replacement, if the estrogen replaces the hormone, replaces the testosterone, and they started early enough so that it kind of cancels itself out, I leave that up to the regulating body to determine. But the way I see it, the way I'm thinking about it, if you say she started this at 30, that's like, you might as well just let everybody take steroids in that division.
I see. I don't know, man. You know, it always messes me up when it comes to the rules and how governing bodies do things, because the rules are in place, right? And the governing bodies went ahead and took a look at this person's case and still allowed her to compete. So they still allowed her to compete. You know, where exactly is the argument? Because the rules are in there for a reason.
But the
issue in this, the issue in this point probably comes from other competitors,
right?
Feeling like this person is winning and the governing board is allowing them to, still compete.
Right.
So they got to the point to where they kept losing. Was like, yo, this ain't fair. Like,
right. I can't beat that person. Like, you got to.
But can they scientifically prove that, like, when they took a blood test or whatever from the person who's winning with the other athletes, could they say, all right, this person's testosterone level was that much more higher than the competitors?
Did they do that? Saying. That's
is
what
that
I'm saying.
Is that recorded? Like, Kristen, when you saw the article, does it say that?
That it says no.
Of course not. Right. But see, that's what I'm saying. That's the science. If I'm a competitor in that division, right? Mm-hmm. That's the science I need to see. I think it's something to be said, whether it's societal fear, whether it is out and out denial on one way or the other. We never have these discussions when a female wants to become a male and then compete in male sports.
Right.
We never have that issue, right? And I think there's something to be said. Why is it that a female who wants to become a man never is questioned? That's never
well. I mean, it's because of the male ego, right? Because if she comes in there,
I don't think it's the male ego. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, has there not been a transgendered athlete who was born female but transitioned to male who is athletic enough to compete with men, right? And then that athlete's performance is outlawed, banned. It's not okay. It's not accepted because that athlete has an unfair advantage.
Right. And so what I'm saying is, like, I don't know if there's a person like that, but if that was the case and men were losing and they knew that, right? Like, they, what I'm saying? They won. Probably is not going to make a huge uproar about it because they don't want to feel like, okay, I'm pretty much getting beat
by a girl,
by somebody who was born a woman. I don't care if they transition to a man, like they, it's the male ego. Like, yeah,
I don't know. I think I do, and this is not me being insensitive. This is not me being a jerk. I do think there needs to be, until the science can be established. And I feel like that's only fair if the science can't be established in certain athletic realms, in certain competitive realms. There has to be a difference in divisions, because a female, I don't know how many of y'all have seen the terrible, and I call it terrible because I know the media is doing it on purpose. They use the image of the young transgender wrestler who's choking out a young black girl, right, in a wrestling match. And there's a boy who's transitioning to a girl. I think it's in Texas. She's choking out this other little girl legally in a wrestling match. But they use that because the kid got a real menacing look on their face. Like, it almost looks kind of like almost shut off. and then the other little girl that she's choking out is like seemingly gasping for air. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they use that image to kind of sensationalize the fact that it's an unfair advantage and kids will get hurt, you know. So with that being said, I think there needs to be a separate division for that class of athletes. So yes, you can participate, you're definitely allowed, but just like 200-pound kids can't wrestle with 100-pound kids, there has to be some sort of level playing field.
Well, this article does say, it doesn't say whether this person, whether Laurel Hubbard won, but she did compete before she got the sex change. She was competing as a man.
Yeah, and see, the thing is, you can't really have, people don't want somebody to have that much of a competitive edge that it's not competitive, right?
Not fair,
and then, right, and I think something similar happened in a case with a Jamaican track star, where.
But if I'm not mistaken, I think that young lady was female.
And she was female, right?
And they would constantly blood test her because she had really strong masculine features.
Now, hold on. Now, are we sure that it was Jamaican?
I believe so. I believe so. I think so.
I know
because the person I was talking about, she's from South Africa, but she was going through the same.
Maybe it was South Africa.
Yeah. Maybe
because she does have features that look more male, but she considers herself female.
But she wasn't intersex though. I didn't think.
Or transgender.
No, she wasn't.
She wasn't.
But she was crushing track. She was crushing it, and they would blood test her. They didn't. I think they said at one point they made her strip naked to check her privates.
I feel like I remember that.
Yeah, to make sure that like you're a female, because she had really, really strong male features. And
well, what about what's her name? Brittany Griner. She has a, like, if you close your eyes and listen.
Yeah, she.
Right.
I thought it was a guy, honestly.
Yeah, but she's not.
She's not. Yeah, she's not
transitioning.
But no, she's not. But from what I remember from her story, they thought she was intersex. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. There's another NBA player. I know we can't really talk about it now because I know we got to wrap up soon. But there's another WNBA player who just actually got her breast removed.
Oh, okay. I don't want to.
I thought that was Brittany Griner. Didn't she?
She might have gotten it too, but there's one that I know of that just got it done. And, you know, now she's just basically just flat chested, and this is what she wanted. So, you know, she walks around. So she, you know, she'll walk around with no shirt on and just be chilling.
That hurts.
But she, you know, but she's also gay. I think she may be married and everything, but you know, you have a lot of you have a lot of people who's doing that. But you know, that's another story for another day. Let's wrap up with the champ. Who's the champ of the week this week?
Oh my word!
Real quick before we get to the champ, hold on.
I'm absolutely not talking about the champ.
Before we get to the champ, I just want to make mention to all of you grown people.
Oh God, don't do that, Walt.
No, I'm dead serious. To all of you grown people who are talking bad about that little boy who had something whack to say to Cam. The little boy was wrong. He was a kid doing kid stuff. I'm not saying you don't light him up about that. You light him up about that. But to proceed to calling this little kid
a son of a bee?
No, they didn't call him a son of a bee. They literally just called him a bee. That's it. There was none of that, like, to me, and I think, and this is something, and we, like I said, I'm gonna leave it at this.
I think you're talking from an educator standpoint.
No. I'm talking, this is a personal, this is a Walt thing. That particular word is the ultimate disrespect.
That's you talking about adults calling them that.
Yeah. This is grown men. And one of the dudes justified by saying he's 18, he should know better. First off, he's an 18-year-old junior. I don't know about that, but he's 18 and you feel in high school and you feel like it's okay as a grown man to call this little boy that. And you're saying, well, if he was 16, I'd see your point.
But was it okay for this 18-year-old to talk to a grown man the way he was?
Definitely wasn't. Definitely was not.
Then you stepping into the arena.
Negative.
So you just I think as an adult, it's you have a duty to respond in a way that teaches, you know, and so in this case, like,
and Cam did respond
Cam
Cam's
response was fine.
Cam did all the right things. I'm talking about the other people who feel like, oh, he's going low, he's a child. Like, you literally grew up and you learned better, you know better. This little boy don't know no better yet.
Right.
He young and stupid.
The brain of a man doesn't fully.
Nope. I can't.
The brain of a man doesn't fully develop until 21.
Right.
No, I'm not trying to hear all that now.
That's true. That's
the truth. That is the truth. But I don't care. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
You got no sense to say what you said.
No, he didn't. He's a child making dumb decisions. This is what I'm saying. And this is what irks.
But see, that's an argument that we have in education a lot, because a lot of adults expect.
That's why I said you're talking from an education standpoint.
And I'm speaking from a black man's perspective. I'm speaking as a black man. How often are our children perceived as grown men when they do things that other people, society sees?
Other kids,
that's a grown man action right there. He's still a child. If a white kid would have did that, when that little white kid he got the cancel culture, whether it was justified or not, with the Native Americans out there at the Trump rally, when he did that, nobody said, oh, this little be this, little be that. Media was like, that's a boy. That's a child.
No. But when that fool was down here in South Florida, talk about, if I get coronavirus, I just get coronavirus. He was cancel culture, and they was tearing his behind up until he apologized. That white boy that was out here in South Florida when last year, when this whole thing first started, and he
was a college student.
I don't remember if he was
He was a college
I think he was on the news.
See, that's what I'm saying.
So he's now grown. You say he don't grow up. You said they don't grow up until they're old.
No. What I'm saying is that is a grown man right there. Like,
so now he's a grown man.
This is a high school kid. He's a junior in high school.
Okay, so they become a grown man when they're in college. Is that what you're saying?
You're legally independent at that age. Yes, you're legally independent.
How? My parent, I can still get a Parent Plus loan. They take out a loan for me for my student loans.
Your age
Parent Plus loan.
No, your age loan. Your age classification. You stupid.
Devin knows, because Devin understands. His kid is in college.
No, your age classification is far less significant than your actual status in life. Like, this is literally a child. Like, he's a junior in high school. Like, he can't do anything legally on his own.
So a person in college is considered a grown person? I'm just asking.
Yo, I think this is a good question. If we have not put it on our social media, I think this is a good question for our listeners.
Listen,
and supporters.
Grown people calling that little boy out of name like that, to me, I'm glad you said to me. I always said that. I said to me. I'm a side with Ward on this.
Of course you are, because you guys are speaking from dealing with kids.
Devin.
I'm speaking from
a nurturer. You can't take it back. You can't say it.
Just a nurturer standpoint.
You already said there.
I'm speaking from a black male perspective. I hate seeing our young men being labeled as men, grown men, capable of receiving grown men treatment because they seem to be a grown man. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable to me. I don't care if that little boy was out of line and out of pocket, whatever. You discipline a child with child equivalent discipline. You don't give them adult level discipline, because if that's the case, then we got to look at, George Zimmerman. If George Zimmerman would have did the foolishness that he did to a grown man, he probably beats that rap. Hands down. Nobody questions it. It doesn't even go as long in trial. It was so much harder for him to fight that, because the argument was Trayvon Martin was a child. But what did they do? They spun that like, Trayvon Martin was big enough to be an adult. He looked like a man. I thought it was a man. No, that's unacceptable. We can't keep allowing our young boys, even our young girls, we can't allow them to continually be classified as older than what they are because of what people see them as, because you think their actions classify them.
Here's my thing. My point is, you step in that arena, you get what comes with that.
Negative. That's
where I'm at. Regardless, I'm not saying that he has to be a grown child, a grown person or not. All I'm saying is,
but that's
my thing is, you won't see how many kids do you see disrespecting Tom Brady, like to his face like that?
Negative.
Or
That's
Peyton Manning,
but you're spinning apples. You're spinning apples and oranges.
I'm asking how many do you see doing that?
I mean,
what does
let them have a camp, right? And let them have a camp of whatever white kids.
Crystal.
Listen. This kid could have, let's say the same kid, he could have done this to any other quarterback, right?
Could he? Could he have, or would he have?
No, he
you
could
think
have,
he would have?
If he felt that way about that player, yes.
Like so,
I do.
But I don't even think it's about who he did it to. The more of the response that he got from other adults.
No, I don't think so either. But I'm talking about what he did. I don't. The response that he got from the adults, I don't have a problem with that.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
But
Devin,
I'm saying,
hold on, Crystal. So since me and Derek are speaking from an educator's perspective,
and we're going to end on this.
Devin gets the final word from a Devin perspective. All right, not a Derek and Walter apparently educator perspective. Do you feel like grown people calling this little boy out of name and giving him adult level responses is okay based off of what he did?
Devin, Gemini vibe. That's all I'm saying. We're here.
Dumb spin is that? Like, you're not swaying a vote.
Ask me the question again, Will.
All right. Do you feel like this young man, it is okay for him to receive adult level responses based off of what he said to Cam Newton?
Yep.
Adult level responses from adults.
No, because I don't. I think that they crossed the line a little bit.
Thank you.
I'll leave it at that.
Why a little bit?
You're calling the little boy a bitch.
But you said a little bit, but why? They're all the way across the line. Why do you say only a little bit?
Well, I think that to be perfectly honest, I mean, I don't really think that they had any grounds to respond to the situation in the first place because it didn't have anything to do with them.
Nothing.
It does.
It does not.
Just because of the world that we live in today, social media is everything. Right. And so this story was put on social media for people to respond. And so that's what happened.
Hold on. Y'all let Dev.
No, you're right. I mean, the world that we live in, it is social media. In the world that we live in, everybody needs to respond. But, the situation truly was between Cam and the young man, right? So,
that you can say that if it wasn't put on, you can say that if it stayed there. But it was put on social media, so it didn't stay between them.
No, I didn't. Okay. But that doesn't stop them from crossing the line and saying what they said. I mean, to be honest, the whole thing was doomed to fail to begin with. Here's what I think happened. Here's my opinion. What I think happened was because of the nature of the competitive sport that they was in to begin with. I think there was smack talk going back and forth. I actually think that Cam probably was talking a little bit of smack to the boy, and they was going back and forth. And Cam said something to the kid, and what happened was
that set him off.
And people started laughing. And when they started laughing, the kid had to feel like he needed to beat himself up. He had to come for the juggler. He had to come back with something, which is where the free agency thing came in, and you're gonna be broke. But the truth of the matter is, Cam is not gonna be broke because this dude has millions of dollars. But the truth is, the boy didn't have anything to come back with, and he had to defend himself because everybody was looking, because he knew his friends were gonna be like, "Yo, Cam got you."
He had to do what kids. He had to do what kids do.
You had to do what pride does.
He had to do what pride does. Right. He had to do what pride. He had to do what kids do.
And what does pride do? Pride comes before the fall.
True, Crystal. Yes. But wait, y'all. Wait. He had to do. There was a pride thing there, but the boy was not emotionally intelligent enough to navigate through that because he's still young. and he got caught in the moment. Like I was talking to Shawnee about this, and I feel like Shawnee and I do a good job with Elias, right? I think all three of y'all can attest to that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I could easily see Elias getting into a situation like that and getting caught in the moment because of the surroundings.
Oh my God, I cannot see that.
I can see it.
I know that you're his dad, but I cannot.
Can see it. I can see Elias getting so caught up in it because he's caught up in the moment. The boy was damned if the boy was doomed to fail to begin with.
No matter what.
Straight and we wouldn't accept or even want another grown man coming at Elias calling him that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because Crystal, you would be on social media.
You already know. I would be
on social media,
but that don't mean.
out.
And that's what I'm
I would definitely be going off, but that don't mean.
The very first thing you would say is he's a boy. He's a child.
No, I would not. No, I would not.
Might be the second. Might be the second.
I would think that's my baby. Y'all better leave Elias alone.
That's my baby. That's my baby. That don't equivalent to he's a child.
No, that's my baby.
Yeah, so I would have been like, yo. So my response when I seen it, my response was, yo, you're like what you did was so dumb. Like it's stupid.
Yep.
Like you got caught up in the moment. Like what you talking about doesn't even make sense. If you knew, like if you really was thinking about it, you had an opportunity to really learn from this man. But again, it is what it is. But I don't think I would have called him a bitch and all that. That's just not what I would have done because I feel like there's no need for that because of how young this dude is. He got caught in the moment just like somebody else would, and he won't be the first. He won't be the last. And there has to be a line drawn somewhere,
right?
Yep.
And then I think
what if they call him a little B?
Wait, and I
don't matter.
I think it has something to say about the level of emotional intelligence of those adults that are responding to that child.
Hold on, Derek. Is Gas House sponsoring this?
They can be. They can be.
Because last time that I checked.
Well, make sure you get the name.
Okay,
right,
Nipsey. All right.
Gas
South. Don't say no other name.
I said Gas South.
All right,
you
good.
did.
All right, listen. Yo, we want to thank y'all for rocking with us today.
Derek, your voice sounds better, Derek.
Derek came through with the come through at the end. Boy, let's clap it up for the brother.
No, ain't nobody clapping for this foolishness.
It was a prayers. Thank you, Dev.
It was a prayer.
Listen, we want to thank y'all.
It was the prayers.
Oh, that's terrible. That's so terrible.
We want to thank y'all for rocking with us, and as always, whatever you do, take positivity with you.
There you go.
You forgot your own line?
He forgot.
I did.
Yo, come on, man.
Oh, yeah. In everything you do,
take positivity with you. In everything you do.
And that tea over there.
Positivity with you.
Your big gulp tea. So ridiculous.
Peace out, people. Gunshots.